Today is International Women's Day.
Today is your day. Just say it. Happy International Women's Day.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, not welcome. Sorry.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. And International Women's Day has been around for over 100 years, as have been many of the issues still impacting women's advancement. Since 1911, International Women's Day has belonged to all who care about women's equality. We need to celebrate women's achievements. We need to raise awareness about discrimination. We need to take action to forge gender parity. This year's theme is Accelerate Action. And I was shouting just before we came on air that that's a very apt theme indeed. Beijing happened in 1995. This is 2025, 30 years ago, and there are still 4 women only in Nigeria's Senate. We need to accelerate action. We have with us a clarity coach, Motolani Falabi.
Good morning.
To talk Women's Day with us. She's with us in the studio, and we also have joining us via Zoom, Fumito Agosto, who is an education consultant. Good morning to you.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay. Tolani, International Women's Day. Accelerate action. What actions are we going to accelerate? What actions do we need to accelerate?
Action starts with the woman herself. I think it's high time that women begin to take up the lead and not wait for things to be handed over to us. Number one, do you even believe in yourself? Are you aware of who you are as a woman, the potentials, the qualities that you have? Do you feel less? Do you feel like when you're with a male, do you feel less intelligent, less important than that person? So it starts with every woman. If we're going to accelerate the change that we want to see, every woman needs to begin to stand up for themselves and not wait for someone to hand over power to us. When you're in the place of work, are you putting in the same level of work that the male counterpart is putting in? And then when you don't get the same reward, are you keeping quiet about it? Oh, just because I'm female? No. So it's high time that women need to begin to stand up for themselves, begin to fight for ourselves, begin to collaborate with other women so that our voices are heard, rather than waiting for anyone to come fight for us. At this point, actions that need to be taken has to start with every woman.
Do you really think that women are waiting for things to be handed over to them?
Recent times, we have seen that dramatic change, that change where women are beginning to say, you know what, I'm no longer waiting. I'm one of that woman who is not waiting for things to be handed over to me. I can do it, I get it done. You want to challenge me as a male? Bring it on. Skill for skill. Intelligence for intelligence. I feel like women are ready. However, we also have that generation who is also trying to stifle the potential of the girl child that they have. Oh, this is how we did it. Oh, you are too ambitious. So it's now the mothers, it's now the older generation who is trying to pull down. But I see a lot of women fighting to say, you know what, with or without you, I'm going to get this done anyways.
Okay, let me ask Ms. Augusto. So is there a place, first of all, I don't know if you agree with Mrs. Falabi here, talking about the purpose, the function of accelerating action beginning from the woman herself. Ms. Augusto, can you hear me? Oh, okay. We'll come back to her along the line. So I want to ask you about the place of culture. There are those who would point out to you that, you know, culture has played quite a significant role in positioning.
Yeah.
Be it mental, or psychological, emotional, whatever, that positioning, is there a way that the culture plays a role, or culture can reverse the trend?
So culture is what brings about the stereotypes that women are made to face today. So you hear, oh, women are homemakers. So women stay at home, regardless of how intelligent you are. You're expected to be the one who builds the home, who takes care of the family. So even if you have a partner whose work or whose role can be done from home, and you are the high flyer, you are the career woman, you're still expected to be the one who builds the home. That's culture. Because of course our mothers are the one who build the home, who are home. But we have amazing women out there doing amazing things. But culture has stifled that role to say, oh, you have to be home to make babies. And the workplace has also not made it easy. So you have amazing women. I see quite a number of them who, in school, brilliant, and then they get married, they have babies, and you're asking, what's happening? What happened to the dreams that you had? Oh,
what happened to your brain?
Yeah, what happened to your brain? The brain is still there, the intelligence is there, but I'm taking care of the children. And of course, where culture also feels that the man should be the breadwinner. So the woman is doing amazing. You know, she has the money, you know, to run things, but she's supposed to pipe low. And that is where you see a single lady who is doing amazingly well, who probably has an apartment, has a car. Yeah, well, if you want to get married, you need to pipe down on these things. You shouldn't have your own apartment. Why are you driving a car? That's why you're not married. You know, you hear such statements and you're wondering, oh, okay, so because I now drive a car, I have my own apartment, nobody's going to marry me, because it feels to culture that you are now becoming the breadwinner when it should be the man who should be the breadwinner.
Okay, I'm going to make Alero also a participant on this conversation. I'm the only one who is... What?
You're the only one who's...
A man on this set right now.
Well, obviously, yes.
So, I'm going to ask you, because I'm asking you because of the generational disparity. I'm no attempt to put you on the spot. Because one of the things we've had over time is sometimes it's the women putting down other women. Okay, let me see. I hear that Mrs. Augusto is back with us. Madam, I don't know how much of what we were talking about you have been listening to, and I was just about asking the question of the generational disparity and the fact that sometimes it is the woman, some women that are putting down the voices of other women. Oh dear.
It's very difficult. And sometimes women feel that with women want.
Oh, well.
Technology is not cooperating this morning.
Yeah, sincerely, but we hope we really hope that we'll be able to have you on this conversation. So, Alera, you want to quickly speak to that? Because sometimes
what was the
that's the challenge. It's the voices of women putting down women.
I don't know how true that is, because when I ran a consultancy, the top echelon of my staff were all women. And to this day, I find that I work better with women. Men always have one thing or the other, you know.
Like what?
First of all, I couldn't put 100% trust in men. They had issues, that's the only way I'm going to put it. And like I always said, and I always say, I find that in places where money is involved, you find that because men have, like they say in Yoruba, ono lakbo, even if the women are going to steal, they don't tend to steal as much as the men.
At least you agree that the both steal. You know, I don't know what your take is on that. Because we've had situations where it is the woman, other women, okay, I'll give an instance. I mean, what as Alera has said is one. There are those who would say, my husband is contesting for the role that you are contesting. I'm going to vote for my husband and not you, a woman. My husband wants the same role that you want.
No.
Why will I
Personal
support?
bias.
That's not because the person is a woman.
No.
It is
just fighting for
my husband.
Yeah, for our family.
I mean, it's me, my husband, and my children against all the others.
Yeah.
And that's just one instance. You women, you understand what I'm saying, no?
Whether the contestant is a man or a woman, I will still stand beside my husband.
Yeah.
True or false?
True.
So how come we have more men in the National Assembly and more men in the state houses of assembly? Is it that the women don't have the voices? Women are the ones who campaign the most. Women are the ones who sing. Women are more in the political parties. So how come it's the men that are taking the seats?
I think it was during the last election that I saw the poster of this very beautiful woman, and I'm like, oh, I like her. So I went online, started reading about her, and I was in a group of people and we're discussing, and somebody said, oh, by the time she wins this election, we'll be sure that she's not the one running that office. It will be her husband running it through her. Because, of course, culture says you submit, not just culture now. So it would be expected that whatever this decision that this woman would make in office, she has to subject it to her husband. So that's the reason why people say, I won't vote for her, because we need to now test the intelligence of whoever it is that she's married to. That is also one stereotype that's influence or affect women. And of course, you also hear things like, oh, meetings when you're politicians, you're out late nights, and because you're a woman, you should be home to cook for your husband. You can't be out there doing all of these meetings. You're in the midst of men and all of that. So I think this is also some of the things that affect women winning in politics.
You know, in all of this, I always say to myself, have you ever gone to any hotel anywhere in the world and met a female chef?
Good question.
The chefs are all men.
Men.
So what is all this you have to go and cook for your husband?
Sometimes even the men cook better than their wives.
Why can't the man cook for his wife sometimes?
Well, why can't you men cook for your wives? It's International Women's Day today, for instance.
Why?
Please don't take her out. Take her to the kitchen.
Cook for her.
No, don't take her to the kitchen. Let her rest.
Let
Watch
her
the TV.
stretch her legs.
Yeah.
Women will say, I want to be looking my husband like this.
Well, let's be sure that let's be sure he doesn't burn down the kitchen one and he's making the right meal.
The reason I'm asking this question, because it is an equilibrium of sorts, almost the same balance of females in the Nigerian population as male. And it's the same all over the world, in a good number of communities, in a good number of states, in a good number of environments. All over the world, the population kind of balances out.
And let me also add that there's no research anywhere in this world that has shown that men or the boy child is more intelligent than the girl child.
Or better in any
None.
manner, shape, or form.
None.
So how do you think we can begin to thankfully you are a clarity coach and you have worked with families in family engineering and all of that. What do you see as the bedrock of the problem? Because I'm trying for us to look forward, to look to the future. There are women who have seen so many movies. I don't know if you've seen this movie, 6888, led by this, this wonderful black woman. The challenge that I see is we tend to box women mentally, more mentally box them than in terms of their capacity.
Yeah.
So how do we begin to readdress this?
So when we say family is the production factory of the society, that's where it starts from. What efforts are parents putting in to ensure that whatever it is that you're teaching the male child, you're also imputing in the female child. so that your male child doesn't
Or the
grow
other way
up.
around.
Yes, or the other way around. And not the, oh, you go into the kitchen, it's okay for the boy to play, or you need to focus on your academics. It's the girl child that you're worried about who will get pregnant. You're not worried about the boy maybe doing drugs or doing other things. We do not position women for success from the family. It's just recently that parents or families are beginning to say, you know what, if I could do this, or even the things that I couldn't achieve, my girl child can do that. I believe that from the family, we can't change that narrative. It would start from the parents. When you have a male child and a female child, are you exposing them to the same level of knowledge? If your girl child says, oh, I want to take a career maybe in the male-dominated industry, would you allow for it? Or would you say, oh, no, that's too risky, you can't do that? Are we limiting the potential of our children? So I believe that from the family, we could fix that. And of course, there has to be more awareness. We need to come together, women who are doing amazingly, come together and begin to also coach other women. Let them know that these things are possible. If I could do this, then you too can do it. It's one of the amazing things that we can do to help the next generation.
Alera, you know what is interesting? The United Nations website about the International Women's Day quotes the 30th anniversary of the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action. I'm looking at it right now. So, and they say that this document is the most progressive and widely endorsed blueprint for women and girls' rights worldwide that transform the women's rights agenda in terms of legal protection, access to services, youth engagement, and change in social norms, stereotypes, and ideas stuck in the past. Now, if we are to make progress from here, Mrs. Falabi, there are various sectors: engineering, medicine, judiciary, politics, economics, and all. What do we need to change, particularly with young women? And I'm looking at young women from rural areas, because rural areas see urban Nigeria as their United States of America, as their London. So what do we need to change in the mindset? What do parents need to help them to get? I'm aware there is a young man somewhere around me who is still, after like 3 or 4 girls, is looking for a boy child. I'm wondering why. So
Not enough.
What do we need to change in society? What does society need to understand?
I think that if we begin to also sponsor or fund female-led initiatives. So for example, STEM, tech, can we begin to sponsor more girls? Can we go to these rural spaces and sponsor these girls who are truly interested in these things and not limit it to the male child? Can we begin to fund women-owned organizations, businesses, so much that they're also able to, because this thing spans down. If you empower one woman, she would empower 10 more women who will go on to empower 100 women, and it goes down like that. So if we begin to, on the immediate, pay attention to them, let there be an awareness to say, if the male can do this, you also can do this. Put up programs, make it free for these children to be able to attend. Let there be provisions for equipment, gadgets, something that they can use. Let it not just be, I know that there's a lot of STEM programs out there. Can we take it to this? Are they even funded?
You are talking about the environments
the
where
education.
the women themselves have not been schooled to believe, no.
No, I can't do
Your
this.
place
It's for the male.
as a room.
Yes.
And so
it's in the kitchen.
It's in the kitchen.
It's in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And all of
So
those
we now
things.
need to begin to orientate these children. If we have programs, go to schools, teach the girls. You know, it's not just enough to women empowerment. How are we empowering them exactly? With what skill? With what knowledge are we empowering them?
How much have we done in the 30 years since Beijing? Have we done much? Have we done anything?
I think we've done a few things. I wouldn't say we haven't done much, but like it said, accelerate. We need to put in more action. The women who some of these things are being done for, do you doubt yourself? Do you believe? Because I said it at first when I started, that it still starts with the woman. A lot of these things can be put in place for you, and if you don't believe that it's something you can do, the effort will be wasted.
Wasted, indeed.
Yeah.
So, ladies, you have successfully told me that in organizations today, a woman will not say, why should it be her? Why not me?
Well, even a man says that. Why should it be him and not me?
No, those ones, they know they don't have a choice.
Well,
It should be by capacity. Who can do the job? Who can get the job done?
Mrs. Motolani Falabi, a clarity coach, thank you very much for coming to talk to us about
Thank you for having me.
International Women's Day, which is May 8th of every year.
And thank you also, Mrs. Augusto. We know that the technology just played the normal fast one. Well, when we return, we haven't had a word of the week in a while. Don't worry. When we return, I understand, you see there are so many colors in here, even our guests wore so many colors. But we understand that there is something called the colors of diet. What those colors are, we'll find out when we return.